Shame, shame, shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. My name is Jessica Scalzo with Compassionate Peer Counseling. And yes, I am talking about shame today. Shame is so uncomfortable, and I know for myself I don't like experiencing it, and yet as a human I experience it a lot. And I want to share a little bit about my experience because I want to normalize it. And as a peer counselor, I do share about my experiences. I make sure that I add some of my own vulnerability to a peer counseling relationship so that I'm normalizing all of these human feelings and experiences. I'll link the blog below that I wrote on this. It will be in the comments because I don't have enough subscribers to put it in the description. Just last month, I was feeling unseen, which is something pretty normal for me to experience. And at first, I was pushing it away because I didn't really want to deal with it, but that takes a lot of energy. And luckily, I was able to notice that I was pushing it away, which is really the first step for me, is just having awareness around my behavior of what's going on. And then when I allowed for it, I allowed for myself to feel all the physical feelings and sensations that came up from feeling unseen. So I would feel it in my stomach, like I can feel it now talking about it, feel it in my chest, feel it a little bit in my throat. And then as I was feeling these feelings, I also was feeling a lot of shame because I was feeling unseen around not feeling recognized for my racial justice work as all these wonderful uprisings are happening across the country. And I'm noticing that friends and family who had once before argued with me and I felt distance themselves from me are now saying, yeah, we need to do something, and yeah, we need to speak out. And I was feeling small and invalidated. And I felt a lot of shame because how can I be feeling these feelings of feeling unseen when these uprisings that are seeking justice are happening? How selfish of me. And I allowed for all those feelings to be there, feeling selfish, feeling shame, feeling small, and just allow them to kind of swirl and just kind of seep on me. And when I do that, I allow for some space between just reacting and deciding what's really bothering me and acting from a place that is actually meaningful and valuable to me. And when I was allowing myself to sit with all those feelings, what I realized quite quickly was that, oh, this is an old feeling for me. Feeling unseen goes way back to my childhood. And it goes way back before I ever had any conversations about racial justice and protesting with my friends or family. And if I were to just react to those feelings, what I would end up doing is doing extra and performing for people, trying to get them to see that I'm worthy, that I've been doing this work, that I'm a good person, and that I'm worthy of their love. And as someone who's done this my whole life, performing extra and doing extra and having to do things to get validation, I know that this is exhausting and has caused me actually a lot of illness and a lot of injury. And so I'm grateful for whenever I can notice it. And I did. And like I said, allow the feelings to be, and I allowed myself to be able to see, wow, this is old, this is from my childhood. Now that's not to say that maybe there is something that I might feel I want to talk with a family member or a friend about. And it's also not to say that there isn't white fragility and white privilege happening where people aren't doing their part, where they aren't speaking up and they're staying silent. Yes, that absolutely needs to be addressed. And it's important for me to know where are my feelings coming from so that I'm not mucking up the conversation for justice with my own need to be seen and to be validated. And also because then I can go and I can take care of myself knowing that, oh, this is about being seen and something is needed right now. So I can check in with myself and make sure that I bring myself compassion for feeling these feelings, forgive myself for feeling these feelings, not abandon myself. And I always like put my hand on my heart and say, I'm going to stay with you. I'm not going to leave you even though we're having these uncomfortable feelings, and take care of myself so I can then move forward and be part of this fantastic movement. Shame is something that shows up a lot for a lot of people, and I'm going to specifically talk about people with eating disorders. Shame definitely helps to keep us trapped in our eating disorder with our disordered eating behaviors that we don't want to show to the world. There's a lot of secrecy involved in having an eating disorder. And so much like the process that I go through where I allow the feelings to just be on me and offer myself compassion and forgiveness, recovering from an eating disorder is much the same work. Allowing for the feelings, normalizing them, not letting shame quiet me from taking care of myself, from feeling my feelings, and then in a safe environment, sharing them with others. I don't recommend that we just share with everybody just to try to break the shame, because that doesn't necessarily work either. But acknowledging them even to ourselves, what we're feeling, can be quite helpful and quite freeing. And so me just writing a blog or doing a video talking about my own shame when I'm really scared and embarrassed to share it can actually break down this shame and build connection and help me to get more in touch with my body and what I'm feeling, so that I can then take action based off of what I truly value, instead of old feelings from a long time ago where I'm trying to get love and affection and attention and feel good enough. Then instead I can take care of myself in this moment, and then I can be more productive in the movement for justice and in my own life. That's the brief overview about shame that I wanted to share today. Just a little example of what it looks like for me when I experience it, a real life example. Shame is normal. We all experience it. And that is the most important thing that I want you to know. Take care of yourself, allow for your feelings, and have self-compassion. Thank you for your attention, and talk to you soon.